Nick from Vulcan Gun Refinishing here. We got another Garand into the shop for a rebuild. This one's kind of an interesting one. It's an early one. It's a 1941. But what's unique about this one is it's got a bit of history to it in that it was a British Lend-Lease rifle. And it's got a lot of British markings on it that help verify that. Plus what else is nice about this one is, like I said, it's a 41. And it's got a lot of its original, apparently original parts. A lot of early stuff here. So this is going to be a reasonably significant historical one to try and save. I'm just going to grab the receiver and we'll go over this one, in a little bit of detail. As I said, it's a 41. It's a Springfield Armory. See if I can get a good shot of that heel there. And get this camera to focus whenever it wants to, if it ever gets in the mood to focus. Come on. Anytime now. Anytime you're in the mood. There we go. Thank you. We had to wake it up. It is Monday morning, so. Alright, so we got ourselves a 404-743. It's an early one, 41. It might have a tiny bit of rust. I see a little bit of speckling in the finish there. That's usually an indication of something. That's too bad, because if I have to file those pits out, we're going to lose the machining marks, but we'll see once it's bead blasted, we'll have a better idea. This side's looking good. We don't really see any issues. There's no pits, nothing. There's a mark along that rail there. Get in there and you can see that. There's a dent or whatever, a little gouge. It's going to most likely going to need some TIG weld. A few other smaller ones. The small ones I can file out as long as they're not too deep, but the really deep ones like that I'll have to add some TIG weld. A few little tiny dings and marks along the edge there. We'll clean all that up. The receiver ring is looking good. Don't see any spots or issues there. It all looks nice. Now there's a little symbol right there that the customer has requested that I save, because it may be, we're not 100% sure yet, but it may be some kind of a British symbol, part of the Lend-Lease thing. We're not really sure. It's hard to really say what that mark is. It doesn't really look like damage. Looks like it was intentionally put there, stamped there, but hard to say. Can't be sure. So that all looks good, but unfortunately it was too good to be true, because Bubba got to this one and he drilled 5 really nice holes in the side of it to mount his scope. I know at one time these things were a dime a dozen. We didn't value these Garands so much, but we do now. Anyway, my job is going to be to go in and get those welded. We'll get a metallurgy test done on this to determine the alloy content. You'd be amazed at how complicated the steel is. I just did a WWII Garand, and there were 21 elements and alloys in that steel. 21. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference is going to be between the WWII and the American. I've already had this to the welders to get their opinion on what the best way to tackle it is, and they're just going to try and do a plug weld. They're going to do 5 plug welds, and if they can get the alloy right, then we'll get this receiver annealed. After they weld it, I'll get it annealed, and then I can come in and do my metal work, file it, polish it, make it nice. Any other little issues it has, I'll repair them all at that time while the receiver is soft. These receivers are too hard. You can't do anything with them in their natural state. You can't file them. So I'll get that annealed, and then I'll get that repaired, and then we'll send it back in and get it heat treated. And hopefully through all that process, you won't see the new metal being added. That's our goal. So let's have a look at some of the other parts. As I said to you, it's an early one, and I want to show you, there's some original Springfield Armory markings on the top of the barrel. Now I don't know Garands as well as most of you guys do, but so you'll know if that's early set of numbers, D86 448-7. REP38, and then looks like an M, not sure, but, and then that symbol up there, not 100% sure, but that might be a flaming bomb, not sure. That might be the flame part right there, and this bottom part might be the bottom of the bomb, but not sure. And there's an E right there. Don't know the significance of the E. Then I'm going to flip it over. I want to show you just the Springfield markings for now. We've got right there, I'll zero in, you'll see this. It's upside down from the way they normally stamp the numbers. These early ones, apparently the numbers were stamped kind of upside down to the way we're used to it. Anyway, what I'm seeing here is S-A-11-41. So Springfield Armory 11 of 41. So pre-World War II, so that's nice. This barrel also has a beautiful bore in it. There's no pitting on the outside, so it's a lucky find. Some kind of a symbol there, I'm not 100% sure what that is. There's an S right there, it looks like an S, maybe for Springfield, not sure. Another symbol there, right there, could be another flaming bomb maybe. That might be the bomb body, and that's the top of it, the flame part up there, not 100% sure. Anyway, just guessing. Now I want to show you the British markings. When the British got rifles or got weapons, they did their own proof testing, and they had their own unique way of marking it. So I'm just going to show you these British markings, which help verify its history. It adds credence to the, well, it's proof positive really that it was a Lend-Lease rifle. Just get in here and get a good shot of some of those markings. We've got the first thing we've got. Let's get this camera to focus. It's not being very cooperative this morning. Must be early Monday morning, eh? There we go. Starting to get somewhere now. But that is still not happy. It's still not focusing. Why is it not focusing? There we go. All right, there we go. Now, that's better. You can see the B. Let me get it out of that light. Maybe that's confusing the camera. We got a BNP, which stands for British Nitro Proof, right there. Then we've got 30-06, 30/06. Then we've got, looks like maybe 3,494 inches. That may be a bore diameter, actual bore diameter. Then we've got the very unique British way of marking barrels. 18, you can see the 18 right there. Then tons, can you see the word tons? Just go underneath here, you might be able to see it better. Tons per square inch. 18 tons per square inch. Then there's that symbol again, I don't know what that is. There was also over here an upside down J maybe, or a P, not sure what that is right there. But anyway, so that was the original barrel on that receiver. I removed it because this receiver is going to have to be annealed, and I certainly don't want to anneal the barrel. So anyway, now let's have a look at a couple other parts and see what we've got here. We've got a nice early trigger housing with some nice, once again, get this camera to focus in. There we go. There we go. All right. So we've got a D28290-15-SA. See that pretty clearly now. D28290-15-SA. Anyway, it's a nice trigger housing. There's no real issues with it. A couple of minor little dings and marks, but nothing too much. Nice machining marks in there. I try and save as much of those machining marks as I can. It depends, if I run into much pitting or whatever after it's bead blasted. Lots of times things don't look bad, but once you bead blast them, it's a whole new story. And we got the trigger guard itself. Once again, it's got a C46025-3-SA. So I don't know what those numbers mean, but you Garand gurus will. Nice trigger housing, a couple of little minor marks, but nothing of any great concern, no pitting, so going to look good on that. That's apparently the original trigger housing once again. I'm just showing you, detailing the parts that have numbers on them, so we can see how early these parts are. You guys will know better than I do. But so we got C46008-2 SA. So another early piece, hammer. All the other miscellaneous parts and pieces. We've got an early, this fork is the early type. Everything looks to be in good shape. No pitting, nothing's cracked. No big terrible wear on the fork there, so that's looking good. This piece, it looks kind of nickel. Looks like it might be made of nickel, not sure. I'll get a better idea once I parkerize it, see how much parkerizing it takes, but you Garand gurus, you'll know if these early parts were nickeled or not. Op rod, got an early op rod. It doesn't have the relief cut in the corner here. Any decent engineer or machinist knows that you never have a square corner in there like that, because it'll crack. Gee, what a surprise. Early drawing number. Let me just move in here so you can get a better look at it. Get this thing to focus. There we go. So we're looking at D35382-3 SA. So once again, apparently a very early number. D35382-3 SA. So nice. No, once again, no pitting. No, just some, usual typical machining marks. Some of them are pretty rough, mind you. It's amazing what they were able to get away with in those days, and we all consider that to be completely acceptable and normal. Looks like a smattering of might be some pitting or a little bit of issues on the corner there, but we'll get that taken care of. That's no problem. And all the rest of the parts, we got a single slot gas plug. Not sure if it's repro, original, what it is, but supplied by the customer. And of course we got all our gas cylinder, gas tube, blah blah blah. That'll be sandblasted and painted to match the parkerizing. So whatever paint they used didn't stick with a damn, but I'll use something a lot better. You got all your ferrules and barrel bands. They're all in nice shape. Everything's good there. And your heat shield, all your clip latch, your bolt. Let's have a look at that drawing number on that bolt. I don't know, I can't remember if we looked at this or not, but anyway, it's D28287-2SA RE4D. It's got a couple of Armor's pin pricks, one down at the bottom by my thumb right there. See it? Yeah. And then that one up near the top. There's another one right in there. So may have had some testing or some operation was done to it by an armorer, and they usually punch the parts like that. It's got a really early rear sight with got the little lock nut instead of the lock bar. That's kind of unique. Don't see many of those around. Apparently original to the gun once again. So, and we got a rear peep sight that apparently Bubba, probably the same guy that drilled the holes in the receiver, modified this peep sight and put a V in there. Anyway, we're going to scrap that peep sight, and we've got a nice clean original we'll throw in there. So anyway, that's about it. Butt plate. This is a repro butt plate, but nice. We'll just reparkerize that. So the real challenge is the receiver. That's what's going to give us all the trouble, is the receiver. All the other parts are basically good to go as is, but it'll be interesting to see that receiver once it's all welded and reparkerized. We'll see how invisible we can make those spots. But I think we'll do a satisfactory job. Anyway, that's it for a preliminary report on this one. I'll keep you in the loop as I'm working along, and hopefully you enjoy it.